For months now, I've been saying this was going to happen. India is furious at Donald Trump and the Trump regime. They view Donald Trump as a source of national embarrassment right now, and Prime Minister Modi of India is taking action. He's currently in Shanghai, meeting with Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin, giving the middle finger to the Trump regime. What you saw there at the outset of this video is an effigy of Donald Trump being taken during a protest in India and being basically beaten and being mocked by the people of India right there. And then you have over here India burning American flags and stepping on American flags and burning Donald Trump's effigy. The people of India, who previously were okay with Donald Trump, they despise him now. He is the enemy right now because he's attacked India over and over again. Here, play this clip of what they're doing to the American flag there in India. Right, in this, show you this photo right here. This is what's being broadcast right now throughout India's national TV. You see that right there, Donald Trump on the left, and then you have Prime Minister Modi, Xi Jinping, and Putin. And what this graphic is showing right there in India is how Trump's all alone, Trump's alienated his allies, and now Prime Minister Modi has met with Xi Jinping and Putin in China, in Shanghai, to give the ultimate middle finger to Donald Trump and the United States. By population, India is now the biggest country in the world. It is a democracy, though it has its flaws, of course, and understatement. But it's a democracy. But all countries have its flaws. But India has a rapidly growing economy, one of the biggest economies in the world, and the United States rightfully spent a lot of time for the past several decades growing that relationship with India. It was very, very important to the United States. Trump, in a matter of 7 months, just completely screwed it up. And we have a shifting of a world order taking place, with America becoming one of the weakest poles in a multipolar world. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, wrote as he posts this photo from yesterday of Xi Jinping, Putin, and Modi, Filipkowski writes, at least while alienating all of our allies, Trump has been instrumental in bringing others closer together. He's being sarcastic, of course. 2 articles just came out, one in The Guardian and one in the New York Times, which confirms the reporting we've been doing in the MeidasTouch network for what? Probably about 5 months right now. We've been doing deep dives into India here on the MeidasTouch network because I saw our corporate news saying that, oh, Trump and India are getting along great and they're going to be the next trade deal, and any moment now India and Trump are going to announce a trade deal. I said, I'm listening to, we have a lot of Midas Mighty in India. I follow India media. I go, I don't know what you're seeing, but India's getting pissed at Trump, and that's growing and growing and growing, and now they've moved on. India's like, F you, burn Trump in effigy, burn the American. That's how India feels right now. This is objectively. This is from The Guardian. Since Mr. Trump singled out India with an unexpectedly draconian double dose of tariffs earlier this month, he has reportedly phoned the Indian Prime Minister on 4 occasions to seek a compromise. Each time, the Indian leader, Prime Minister Modi, refused to pick up. So this is the article from The Guardian. Trump's double humiliation as Xi Jinping embraces Modi and Putin. The U.S.-India bromance is well and truly over thanks to the president's double dose of tariffs. So double dose of tariffs, Trump tariffing India 50%. And then on the other hand, India not taking Donald Trump's phone calls and going to Shanghai. Double dose of tariffs, double dose of humiliation back at Donald Trump. This is from the New York Times. The Nobel Prize and a testy phone call. How the Trump-Modi relationship unraveled. Trump's repeated claims about having solved... This is what we told you. Go back and watch after the war between India and Pakistan settled down. and Trump was taking credit for it. Go back to my reporting again from many, many months ago. Like my reporting early June was this. Trump's repeated claims about having solved the India-Pakistan war infuriated Prime Minister Modi of India, and that was only the beginning. So on June 17th, when they had a phone call, Trump said, you know, my Pakistani friends, they're going to nominate me for the Nobel Peace Prize. Modi, I want you. And Modi's like, I'm not going to nominate you for the Nobel Peace Prize. You didn't settle the war between India and Pakistan, which has been going on for 75 years. You had nothing to do with the current ceasefire at all. I'm not giving you credit for it. That pissed off Donald Trump. Donald Trump then repeatedly went out there and said, I did it. I'm the reason that India and Pakistan entered into a ceasefire. And Trump would give these weird interviews and he would go, does everybody know the N-word? You know what the N-word is? Nuclear. And I would have, and there was going to be a nuclear war. But I told India, you want some American money? You want some American goodies, India? If you want our trade, you better stop. And then India and Pakistan stopped because I dangled some trade in front of him. And for India, that's super offensive. They're like, how dare you say that? Like, it's not even accurate. I mean, the trading relationship between India and the United States is important, but still only accounts for about 2% of India's overall GDP. So they're like, what the hell are you talking about? So you have Xi Jinping right now at this Shanghai summit, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. You have Xi Jinping inviting all of these world leaders, and it is a massive show of force taking place right now, a show of force against the United States. So I want you to think about this. Back when Donald Trump fled the G7 summit in Canada, right? Trump wasn't even there for a full day before Trump came back to the United States. Now, and Trump's like, oh, BRICS is getting weaker. America's so hot right now. Now, America's never been weaker and poorer and viewed with utter humiliation around the world as it is right now. But here you have world leaders, including Xi Jinping and Putin and Modi and others. Here's the group photo that happened yesterday. Play this clip. And here's what went down between Modi and Xi Jinping at the Shanghai Cooperation Summit as the two discussed ways to improve their trade ties together. Play this clip.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi told Chinese President Xi Jinping on Sunday that New Delhi is committed to improving ties with Beijing. His comment came as the pair discussed expanding trade and investment ties against the backdrop of US tariffs. Modi is in China for the first time in 7 years. He's there to attend a 2-day summit of the security-focused Shanghai Cooperation Organization, along with Russian President Vladimir Putin and other leaders from Central, South and Southeast Asia and the Middle East in a show of global South solidarity. We are committed to taking our relations forward on the basis of mutual trust, respect and sensitivity, Modi said at the bilateral talks on the sidelines of the summit. His meeting with Xi in Tianjin took place 5 days after the Trump administration imposed punishing 50% tariffs on Indian goods, citing New Delhi's purchases of Russian oil. It's a move analysts say has pushed the pair to align against Western pressures. It is the right choice for the two sides to be friends who have good neighborly and amicable ties, partners who enable each other's success, Xi said at the meeting. Modi also spoke of positive developments to the Himalayan border dispute, saying an atmosphere of peace and stability has been created.
And Peter Navarro, Donald Trump's senior counselor, who's responsible for a lot of trade stuff. This Navarro was also a criminal. He was one of the people responsible for trying to overturn the 2020 election with the Green Bay sweep. He served in prison for contempt of Congress. And here's what Navarro had to say. It just keeps getting worse each day. Play this clip.
Look, Modi's a great leader. I don't understand why he's getting to bed with Putin and Xi Jinping when he's the biggest democracy in the world. So I would just simply say to the Indian people, please understand what's going on here. You got Brahmins profiteering at the expense of the Indian people. We need that to stop.
And here you had Putin there and others there. Take a look at this.
I can't even begin to imagine all of the money that I've spent on skincare and beauty products over the years to battle issues like acne and damaged hair and eczema, change in hair color, rashes, etc. But I recently realized that I was completely overlooking the most fundamental step, the water I shower in. Jolie is a beauty wellness company that purifies the water we shower in for better skin, hair, and overall well-being. Jolie's filtered showerhead is best in class for removing chlorine and heavy metals. It's the only lab-tested and clinically trialed filtering showerhead on the market. And Jolie is clinically proven to reduce hair shedding in 81% of people, lab-tested to reduce hair frizziness by 40%, lab-tested to maintain color retention, and lab-tested to protect the hair's surface layer. Jolie showerheads have a beautiful, sleek design, the perfect combination of form and function. Jolie still gives strong water pressure and fits all showers, as the plumbing pipe size is universal. Jolie will give you your best skin and hair guaranteed. Head to jolieskinco.com/Meidas to try it out for yourself with free shipping. That's jolieskinco.com/Meidas for free shipping. And if you don't like it, you can return your Jolie for a full refund within 60 days. No questions asked. Jolie is also available on Amazon and select Ulta stores. Get yours now.
Here's how Donald Trump's decision to double tariffs on Indian imports to 15% could have serious repercussions for American consumers. Play this clip.
The headline today in India is US tariff. India is bracing for a steep blow to its overseas trade as US tariffs on a range of Indian products come into effect from Wednesday. The move threatens a little over half of India's exports to its world's largest market. And this underscores the fragility in trade relations between the two countries. President Donald Trump had initially imposed a 25% tariff on India. However, early this month, he imposed an additional tariff of 25% on India for purchasing Russian oil. India hasn't retaliated formally or named Trump in any of its criticism, but Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in his public speeches, has made it clear that interests of farmers and dairy workers will be utmost for his government. India and US have had 5 rounds of negotiations for a bilateral trade agreement, and the 6th round, which was scheduled this week to start, couldn't take place as the US delegation called off its visit amid the trade tensions. Indian government estimates that the steep tariff will impact around $48.2 billion of Indian exports to the US, triggering job losses and a slowdown in economic growth. The steep tariffs are expected to hit India's labor-intensive sectors such as textiles, apparel, gems and jewelry, leather goods, and automobile the most.
Now, here was Donald Trump saying that he stopped the N-word happening in India and Pakistan, that there would have been a nuclear war, but for him, play this clip.
It was tit for tat. It was getting deeper and more missiles. Everyone was stronger, to a point where the next one's going to be, you know what, the N-word. You know what the N-word is, right?
Nuclear.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification.
I figured you'd want to clean that up. No, it's the N-word. That's a very nasty word, right? In a lot of ways. The N-word used in a nuclear sense, that's the worst thing that can happen.
Now, here's the side-by-side of Trump and India's foreign minister, where India's foreign minister says Trump had nothing to do with any of this. Here, play this clip.
I think the deal I'm most proud of is the fact that we're dealing with India, we're dealing with Pakistan, and we were able to stop potentially a nuclear war through trade as opposed through bullets. You know, normally they do it through bullets. We do it through trade. So I'm very proud of that.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने Prime Minister Modi clearly told President Trump that during this entire episode, there was never any discussion at any level about an India-US trade deal or US mediation between India and Pakistan. The discussion to halt military action occurred directly between India and Pakistan through existing channels between both armies and was made at Pakistan's request. Prime Minister Modi firmly stated that India has neither accepted mediation nor does it do so and never will do. There is complete political unanimity on this subject in India. President Trump understood the details explained by the Prime Minister and expressed support for India's fight against terrorism. Prime Minister Modi also said that India now sees terrorism not as a proxy war, but as a war.
Just so you see what they're showing on Russian TV right now, on RT, so you understand how these issues are being framed internationally. I'm purely showing you this so you can see, at least internationally, what's being shown right now. Here is Richard Wolff, an economist, with Rick Sanchez talking about Trump's insults to India. Play this clip.
In that moment, when the U.S. turns to India and says, you will stop buying oil from Russia right now, or we are going to tariff you at the 50% level as opposed to the 25% level. And then India, and one of the Indian envoys came and did an interview with me sitting right here. Interesting man. Basically came back with a response, and this is what this gentleman told me as well. He said, I think what the United States is doing is unjust, irresponsible, and wrong, and we will not be told what to do in terms of who we can buy from and who we can't buy from. And in that moment, Professor, I thought to myself, the world just changed. Something just happened there that historians will write about where the world just changed. Do you think I'm right? Extrapolate
Absolutely.
that forward.
And let me tell you how you're right with a couple of simple statistics. What you just showed us, Ambassador Barak in Lebanon, that's the United States talking to a small Mideastern country. That's not India. India is now, according to the United Nations, by population, the largest country on earth, having outgrown China, which used to have that position. If you do what the United States, what Mr. Trump is doing with these threats against India, who has a long historical relationship with Russia going back to the days of the Soviet Union and ever since, you are playing with a very different adversary. If you shut off the United States to India by big tariffs, India will have to find other places to sell its exports. But like Russia found another place to buy its to sell its energy, India will sell its exports no longer to the United States, but to the rest of the BRICS. And what you're doing is you're hothouse fashion developing the BRICS to be an ever larger, more integrated, and successful economic alternative to the West. We are watching, as you put it, a historic moment, but it will be, for those with some humor, it will be the spectacle of the United States acting like it's the world's tough guy, as what it actually does is shoot itself in the foot.
And right here is a clip of Modi recounting what went down when J.D. Vance tried to threaten him that Pakistan was going to attack India. and what Modi's response was to J.D. Vance. Here, play this clip.
During that particular time, there was a significant development. On the night of the 9th, specifically the evening of the 9th day of the month, the Vice President of America, a prominent figure in the United States government, was present. He had tried to contact me. He had been persistently trying to reach me for a full hour, but unfortunately, I was deeply engrossed in a very important meeting with my entire army, so I simply couldn't take his call at that moment. Later on, I promptly called him back. I said, you called 3 or 4 times. What's the matter? What is truly happening? So the Vice President of America, a very important and high-ranking official, personally told me over the phone that Pakistan was imminently about to launch a major, significant, and potentially devastating attack. That is precisely what he conveyed to me. My immediate response was, those individuals who genuinely do not understand the gravity of the situation simply will not understand no matter how much explanation is provided. My definitive answer was, if the nation of Pakistan has such aggressive and hostile intentions, it will undoubtedly cost them very, very dearly. That's precisely what I explicitly told the esteemed Vice President of the United States of America. If Pakistan were to launch an attack, we would respond with an even more substantial and overwhelming attack. That was indeed my direct and unequivocal answer. And furthermore, I had one more crucial sentence to convey. I explicitly stated, we will answer bullets with shells. This significant event transpired on the night of the 9th, and by the culmination of that very night, extending into the early hours of the morning of the 10th, we had achieved a comprehensive and overwhelming devastation of Pakistan's formidable military strength, effectively neutralizing a substantial portion of their armed forces and their capacity to wage war. And that was indeed our immediate response. That was truly our unwavering spirit.
Now, speaking of Pakistan, Donald Trump has strengthened his relationship with the Pakistan military and the Pakistani army chief, Asim Munir. Pakistan has invested a lot in Trump's family crypto endeavor, World Financial Crypto, which is majority owned by the Trump family. Steve Witkoff, Trump's envoy to Russia, his son, I think his name is Scott Witkoff, is like the head of this World Liberty Financial. Pakistan developed a crypto fund that moved a lot of money into this Trump family controlled Bitcoin venture. Witkoff, though, claims it has nothing to do with the Trump relations and it's just completely coincidental. The people of India don't think it's coincidental. They think it's a clear quid pro quo where Trump is sacrificing the long-standing relationship of America and India for investments in Trump's crypto fund. But what's interesting, too, is that before Modi took this trip to go to China because it's humiliating to Trump and America, Trump tried to call Modi 4 times. Please pick up, please pick up, please pick up, please pick up. And Modi was like, nah, I'm not taking your phone calls. You're done. You're done. See you later. I'm not talking to you anymore. And I think we're seeing more of that, and we're going to see more of that with foreign leaders just saying, we're done with you. We're ghosting you. We're not taking your freaking phone calls right now. There you have it. We're putting all the pieces together here at the MeidasTouch Network for you. Hit subscribe. Help us get to 6 million subscribers.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to add the MeidasTouch podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for new updates every single day.